Right, it's good morning, Anambra, and we're still here to talk about the family. Every 15th day of May is the International Day for the Family, and every one of us came from a family. So it would be very, very good if you come closer to your TV set to understand what we're about to discuss this morning. And of course, your contributions are also needed on this program. You can go to our Facebook page while we talk and drop any comments, suggestions, or questions where necessary. My name is Nonye Mokoye, and my co-anchor is equally in the studio this morning.
Yes, my name is Ifi Onachuku. Everybody knows that the family is the nugget of society. If the society is fine and good, then it has to start from the family. So join us today as we talk about the family.
All right, today we are looking at the family as the nugget of the society. Let me borrow a word from my co-anchor this morning. And strengthening families, building resilient communities is the topic of our discussion this morning to commemorate the 2025 International Day of the Family. And in the studio this morning, we've been joined by a preacher of the Gospel of Jesus Christ, writer, publisher, gospel singer, and entrepreneur, Princess Letitia Shekinah Maxwell. It's good to have you in the studio. You're welcome. I think this is the second time I'll be hosting you on Good Morning Anambra show.
Yes, this second time.
For me. All right, yes, welcome. Now, when we talk about family, what actually are we looking at?
When you talk about family, okay, let's break down a little. You're talking about the father, the mother, and the children. That's the family. Then from that, we have extended ones. And when we talk about family, we talk about development, primarily. Yes.
Now, each time we talk about the family too, a lot of pictures come to your head. It's either the family is strong or the family is not strong. The family is popular or the family is not notorious. So, what is it that can hold a family together for you to call that a family, that cocoon a family?
Okay, before you actually talk about something that is going to hold a family together, we need to understand the importance of family and how strong that word family is. Honestly, family is like the foundation of the existence of this earth, because you can't talk about a government without a family. It does not happen. So that this earth is functioning is because families are there. Until we understand the importance of family and how family life should be prioritized, there will not be even a strong government functioning anywhere. So that is why a family should be looked into. Every individual should be family oriented. You can't have a solid society without solid families. So family is as important as that.
You're saying that we cannot survive without the family.
Sure.
When you talk to Gen Z people and people who think they are very modern, they don't even believe in family. Okay. They believe the family, in fact, when you get to 18, you want to run away from your family as fast as possible. So somehow they don't believe in family, and that's why it's getting disintegrated. And you're here telling us that the family must be there for a nation to grow.
But that is the truth. No good family structure, no successful country. Then if we're going to talk about the Gen Z, honestly, I don't even know who gave them that name, but I think that name has no profit to anybody. And if I'm going to talk from the angle of being a preacher, you see that even the name Gen Z, wherever it came from, should actually be abolished. That should be their first stage of deliverance, because even in the Bible, we're told of what is happening now, that a time will come when there will be so much disrespect. It is written there in the scriptures. Children will no longer honor adults. And look at this generation. So we are seeing people dying, going away, fading everywhere, calling them Gen Z. So they need serious help. They need serious help. So whether they believe or not, watch their lives, watch their activities, what future are they holding, if not destruction?
Okay, now do you believe that the family is disintegrating?
Too much.
So why is it so?
Okay. There are a lot of factors that is actually surrounding that. When you come to a nation where all of us belong, you come to a community, sometimes, not sometimes, 90% of what is happening in community is based on what the government is bringing. Because when we talk about family development, and you cannot separate the government from it. Government has the power, the right to put structures that should guide everybody, and at the same time, giving people guidelines even how to build that family. Now, when some family are facing the things that made some families to break, one is lack of adequate functioning of some government, number one. Number two, this one is an internal one, maybe poverty, greed, problems, frustration, and depression are the reason why many families today are scattering.
All right, I think I want to come in here. You know, when my producer brought up this topic, I told her that I'm deeply emotional about the topic because of what I am seeing around. You know, a lot of families are in you know, keeping malice. You see a family where there are only two brothers. The two brothers are not going the same way.
They are fighting.
You know, now you talk about some things that could cause disintegration in the family, which you talked about poverty. But I've seen a family where they are very rich. They are very comfortable, but they are still. In fact, the one I saw last week, it's a large family, and their father was a very good man. That was why I went to that burial. But in that burial, some people made clothes for, these people made clothes separately, these people, which I know that before now, burial kind of bring people together. You know, people that have not seen for a long time, it's an opportunity to see their siblings, because even if you don't come home during a traditional marriage, you can always come home when your father dies or your mother dies. So now, seeing all these things playing out, you know, do you think these are some of the causes of the kind of society we are seeing today? A society where everything goes, people no longer, you know, inhuman nature everywhere. Do you believe that this integration in the family are the causes of what we see, or the extension of what we see in the society?
It is the extension and even the expansion of what we see. Now, there is something we must never overlook. Each time I talk, I always fall back there, because I'm a child of God. I understand the mind of God to some extent, and I read the scriptures, and all the things we are seeing today is written in the Bible. It's even written there that son will be against father, father against children, vice versa. We also see that a man's enemy will be what? A member of his household. I don't think the Bible is joking. I know the Bible is correct and accurate, and we are seeing those things are playing out. So poverty, like I mentioned, is not the only thing that is responsible for that. No, it's not. It's just one of those things. Now, we should not underestimate the devil, because the source of iniquity in this world is the devil. And sometimes he projects things into people. Devil fights marriages. You're talking about family. Have you not seen where in the family some children are siding the mother and some are siding the father, instead of being on the same table? In 2021, on one of my profiles on Facebook, the message is still there. When I said, the Lord showed me where a lot of demons, demons of immorality, is being released into the world. demon of fornication, demon of adultery, everything immorality. He came, you know, for us, maybe we are not that big prophet yet. So when you say certain things, it will only be some few people who might pick it like that. The thing is still there. Check from 2021 till now. You will see that the issue of being naked in the public increased from 2021 till now. That time, it was only maybe young girls that go naked. Right now, even married women want to also shake their buttocks in the public, which was not like that initially. So what I'm trying to mention here is that the first person or personality involved in this is the enemy, because the devil understands that community cannot even be together if families are not together. Even the church we are talking about, who are the people in the church? Is it not families? So if families are not together, how can a healthy church be built? Who are those people in the church? Father, mother, and their children. Now, but you see some families right now, the day of service, the woman has her own church. The husband has her own church. Now, you find out that both of them might even be claiming to be born again. And you're born in again, and God is not talking to both of you, and the children might be in a different place. Shabi, you know, there's a saying that, you know, a family that prays together stays together. So if all of us cannot agree, so what happens? If all of us cannot agree, how do we have a functioning society? So it's a very huge attack on families.
Okay. So, you know, let's remember the topic is on, you know, families building sustainable society, communities. You know, so let's take a look. There's a question I asked you about, you know, having strong ties.
Okay.
Having families having very strong ties, having very strong influences and all these. Do you understand? Now, how can we, since we are trying to strengthen families, building resilience in communities through these families, now, how do you think, or how do you think strong families can help in community development? Should they remove themselves from what is happening in the community? Whatever happens in the family, will it affect the society? Like we said earlier, the family is the nugget of the society.
Sure.
Yes. So, is it possible?
That would be a little bit difficult. But the thing is, to really build that society, be able to contribute, it's going to be a collective effort. It's not just one person's responsibility. But first of all, there's this man of God, Dr. Olukoya. He said something. If you cannot save a nation, save your state. If you cannot save your state, save your community. You can't save your community, at least save yourself.
So in a way, you're saying that, you know, in the olden days, whatever they are doing in a community,
everybody's involved.
Every family is. If you're not there, they will even fine you and all these. But it's no longer there because of the nuclear family practice. And then, you know, the way we build our houses now, we build duplexes and we stay indoors for years. Nobody knows if we're there. We build flats, we'll lock up our children and all. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. So do you think the family has a great influence? And how can we bring it back?
Before something like that can be brought back, there will be a general orientation where people come to understand and accept. There are some progress.
Accept the fact that they have influence.
Accept the fact. There are certain progress that we cannot make until you and I agree to make the progress. You can't make it alone, and I can't do it alone. So there must be understanding and there must be agreement. Like for instance, we complain about bad government here and there, you know, people in power, they are doing this. But when you look at all of us, it looks like everybody had the tendency to corruption. Because what is happening, for instance, in Oka here, what is happening in Enugu, is not the president's responsibility. He's not the one doing it. There are things we are doing. And if today, the same people that are complaining, when you elect them into an office, you find out it is still the same chain of behavior. So for us to say, okay, we are stopping, we all need to agree, okay, this is no longer going to be trending. We're going to drop this, we're going to drop that. And everybody will come on the same table and make progress. So families, as it stands right now, if you can't build everybody, start from yourself. And when people are saying, okay, that what you're doing for yourself is actually working. As a mother and a father, understand that building a strong family is actually a responsibility. And is a very great task.
That's the next thing I want to talk about.
Yes.
Who is responsible for for building a strong family that will affect society positively?
First of
mother,
all,
father, children,
father, and
or
children.
maid.
No.
Is it the maid?
Mba. So it is going to be the mother and the father. And see, there are some values that we're losing like right now. You know, in the past, my mother's experience, even like when we're growing up, before you get married, there is this kind of inquiry. We want to know who is coming into the family. We want to know where we are going. So it's not like today thing that you just be sitting in your house, your child will come inside and say, meet my fiancé. Number one is that who made you fiancé to start with? How did you start? So I'm telling you, these are some of the yes that has been lost. And if you check now, when do we have more divorce rate? Is it not right now?
It's not.
Good. Even that time, many people are afraid to. You don't even talk about divorce. It's not part of the conversation. But you find out that right now, when a young girl is getting married, there's already a provision in her heart in case the marriage breaks. So she already have a plan B before going into the marriage.
So she has in mind that the marriage maybe.
Yes.
I think at this point, I think it will be important for us to take you back a bit.
Okay.
You know, of letting our viewers really understand the need for the family in the first place. Because, you know, when I talk from the angle of emotion of what it is happening. Sometimes it seems as if people don't understand what family is again, or the importance of family, or why I should be a member of a family. If you don't mind, let us really outline the need of having a family in the first place.
You see, there is actually nothing meaningful anybody is doing without family. Family is that important. And when you have a family, you have a future, you have a legacy. Because if you think the legacy your father built cannot be sustained, what about yours? Or are people just going to be living their lives and scattering at any point it pleases them? A brother doesn't know where the brother is, and nobody knows where anybody is. I know what I'm saying. So now, the importance to build a family, first of all, is for continuation of that lineage. That is number one.
I'm so happy at the word we are using here, to build a family.
Yes.
And not to go, you know, some young people may think you're just going into a man's home for what you are going to get.
No.
You know, thank God for that word, build.
You build a family, is building a legacy. So now, when you come to that point of understanding, this is a structure. And when you build good family, you find out that even the next generation to come will have a foundation. So family is a foundation. It is a structure that should not be broken. It's a structure. So every right-thinking human being should be able to understand that this is a structure. And that is why I have a problem with, you see, when some young people now get married, as soon as they land in the marriage, they are trying to uproot the man as their personal property and cutting off from the rest of the family. You know, the Bible said that a man, for this purpose, a man leaves the father and the mother and come to them. Yes, that's what the Bible said, but some people are practicing witchcraft now with it. You come to a family, you're dragging the man out. So whatever structure and lineage that is coming up, you're scattering it, and you want to go start another life with him differently, where mother and father relations cannot come close. That is some of the breakdown we are seeing. So the man is now only with the woman and the children. So that is why we are having problems. So when You are in a family, you are a mother, you have a son. You must put your foot on ground to fight for the unity of your family, making sure that your children don't hate one another, making sure that you protect and guide everybody. It's going to be warfare, but you have to fight it, both spiritually, physically, any way you're going to do it. It is very important, so there can be unity. When your family breaks, do you know that enemies can easily come in and settle? What many families we're talking about today are passing through is that enemies have invaded them because there was a loophole.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, if you just joined us, today we are celebrating on television the International Day of Families, and we are talking about strengthening families and building resilient communities. There's no development that can take place without the family being involved. So at this point, we want to go to the streets and hear what the parliamentarians think about this topic. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Family to me is a complete and a unit part of society that forms a community, a society where everyone lives that have different goals to accomplish in life. That is a family for me.
To my own understanding, a family is people that are related to you by blood, by ties, and by adoption. And the way you can help them is, as a member of the family, you can help by financially assisting your parents, or if it's as a son or a daughter, you can help by disciplining your younger ones, taking care of the home, household chores, and others. Even as a member of the society, you can help by giving alms to orphanages, motherless babies homes, care homes. They're also part of the family.
We can better support family by the input of parents, because parents play a major role in family setting. Because when the parent feels in its responsibility, then the society becomes a collapsed system. So it becomes family, and how can support family is a father and a mother knowing their duties and their responsibility and make a great input that will bring the impact in the society.
Family, well, we talk about father, mother, children, relations, maybe grandparents and grandmother. They are part of the family. Then, how can we better support family? Like a husband should be, how should I put it, should be hustling. If you're not employed, you get self-employed, self-employment, you start up something. The same thing for the woman. And the children are up to, as old enough, they can help. I'm not talking about selling things and walking around the streets, no. In terms of helping their parents to make one thing or the other.
Family is very necessary. That's where the country starts. So this time around, hunger is killing so many people. There are no money, no food, nothing. And people are just survival of the fittest. No medicine. So we are at the mercy of poverty. So which does not warrant us, it doesn't supposed to be, because Nigeria is a blessed country.
But at least we want to be able to encourage our young ones, our children that are coming up, bring them to the right path. And as you bring them to the right path, teach them what to do. If maybe at least your child is growing up, try to at least fit them into education, or if maybe you can't be able to afford that area, give them something doing so that they'll be able to come out with something and live a better life. Not to allow outsiders to indoctrinate them with outside mentality, so that they will not be able to get into all these things that our young boys are into this time around.
Welcome back to Good Morning Anambra show. We've gone to the streets to feel the pulse of the masses concerning the issue at hand, strengthening families, building resilient communities in commemoration of the 2025 International Day of Families. Now, you that is watching, do you have a strong family? Can your family actually help in building resilient communities? These are the things we are looking at on the program this morning.
And so, before then, we were talking about some things that parents do that can actually disintegrate the family. Yes, Letitia.
Okay, coming to that, you see, this topic now is very large, is broad.
That's what we are trying to tune it down to.
Yes.
How, family that is very strong can affect community.
When you come to some families, you see that they prefer some children to others, and it's their children, because maybe one has more financial evidence. Maybe that one is taking care of the family, and everybody attention goes to that one. And the ones that are not providing yet, will be left behind. So some of the things that actually bring war internally in family, apart from the devil zone. So the parents too also contribute to that because of preference. They like the other child more. I've seen a situation whereby a family have 2 daughters. When the other one gave birth, the mother says she's not going. Why she's not going is because there is nothing to come back home with. Wow. And you're dealing with human beings that are already adults. So do you think such a lady will be happy? And she gave a lot of excuses why she cannot go. But okay, if possible, maybe any of her relations can just go. And he did that. But when the other daughter gave birth, she hired a boss, bought things with her money, bought food, bought clothes, carried a full bus to the other person's house. And these are the first one that already know that their mother doesn't have time, according to her. Now saw that she went to a place, even stayed close to 2 months with the other preferred one. So that kind of a thing can actually bring hatred among the children, because some of them may not have the maturity to understand, especially when the ones too who are being loved rub it on his or her face. Sometimes he can be feeling, okay, maybe I'm not part of the family, and somebody can grow up with that kind of rejection. When you meet some people talk, even women that are already 60 years old, you meet them talk, you can see a place in their mind or their heart that they have hidden pain or wound, that when they begin to talk, you can see that that is pain they carried from childhood. It has not been healed. So rejection is not a small problem, because it can lead to depression.
All right. It's been established here that we have disintegration in families. Are there ways, that families can actually come back to rebuilding themselves so that they can be strong enough to help in building a stronger communities?
There are ways, if they will accept. One of the ways is forgiveness. First of all, before forgiveness, you should admit there's an error. And there should be an acknowledgement that, we need each other. If you believe you're my sister, we don't need each other like this. Everybody is minding their business. That is being now the gospel of the day. Because that's the gospel of the day. You can be by yourself. Avoid everybody who does this. You don't care. Just love yourself. You see this gospel of just love yourself. I know that's what the Bible says. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. But the way they are taking it now out of context is going to bring another problem we'll be solving in future. Because everybody is minding themselves. No. Whether your brother, your sister, they are okay. You don't care because you are happy. I do what makes me happy. So if in the family, we now realize that as a family, we shouldn't be foolish. We need to come together and build this structure. And where I have issue now, even some pastors now are also preaching the same gospel. Instead of understanding we already have existing problem, they are also telling you, your family can be anybody.
But they want you to come and become a family to them.
Yes.
So you can bring all your tithes.
So now, they're preaching that, no, your blood, somebody is your blood doesn't mean it's your family. You know, you can build family anywhere. That's a lie. So people should be told they need for their family unit to be healthy. So when we agree that we are going to come together, no matter what the offense is, we should drop it and agree to love one another and to know what is good to us as a family and build our name and our legacy. Some reason why people suffer today is because their family foundation is broken. It's broken. Even the Bible said it. Is it not in the book of Psalm 11:3? He said, when the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? He didn't say, what can the sinner do? We're talking about righteous now, but you have a foundation which is faulty. When we start dealing with a faulty foundation, it's also a large topic on its own. So there is need to repair that foundation and forge ahead by agreement and forgiveness.
Well, I think that's where we're going to end it today. But before we go, I just want you to use 30 seconds to advise those in authority, because most of these politicians come from families. And if you come from a family that has great value, that means when you are elected or appointed, you need to work well to make society proud of your family. So one word for people who have been given, who are in position of authority, and then young people who feel that they are Gen Zs and that the world ends with them, like the Z.
Okay. Where government has actually a lot of role to play, in the sense that they should be able to bring policies and implement it to down to, local government, communities, then families. There are things that makes families, to function very well. We know what it is. You provide every amenities that people need generally. That can contribute. So that involves both education, infrastructures. We know what it is. Those things you see that look like minor, because even if a family decides to work well and they're having a lot of distractions and problems, it can also influence thinking. It can also influence a lot of things in their lives that could also cause misbehavior.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, that's just about it on Good Morning Anambra show for today. It's been established here that we have, there are so many faulty foundations in various families are disintegrated. But what we are saying this morning is that we need to come together as a family to help in building stronger communities, stronger institutions all around, because without family, we can do little or nothing.
Sure.
Thanks for coming.
All right, thank you so much, Letitia, for being a part of this show this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. Until tomorrow.
Yes, we're not done yet.
Okay.
We still have Catch the Balls coming in a few seconds' time. Please don't go anywhere. My name is Ifi Onachufu.
And I'm Nonya Mokoye. We'll be back.